Hi, what we're going to work on today is leave it. So for me, leave it means you are not allowed to touch that in the first place. That is rat poison, that is medication, that's onion. You are not allowed to have it. So if you already use the word leave it for wait a minute and you can have it in a minute, just pick a different word. I've never done this before with Loken. It's the first time, so we'll see how he gets on. And what I'm going to do is, because this week I'm setting a 5-minute challenge, so I'm literally going to set an alarm for 5 minutes. We're going to train each day for 5 minutes and see how far we get. So I'll put all the videos together so you get a compilation. So step 1 is you're going to hold a low value treat in one hand and you're going to reward with a higher value treat from the other hand. There's lots of different ways to teach leave it. This is one way, and I'll use Luna to show you some of the other ways. So I'm going to hit start on my timer and we'll just see how far we get. As soon as he backs off, I will mark and reward from my other hand. I'm not pulling my hand away. I'm not telling him off. I'm literally just waiting him out. If it's really painful, you can get a cup and put the treat under a cup so they're pouring at the cup rather than you. And I'm not going to move on to the next step until he's moving away from the hand immediately. And he's done that a few times in a row. So long term, I want him to back off and give me eye contact. But for now, I am literally just going to, just clicker. I am just going to reward any movement away from my hand. And you'll notice I'm not saying the word, I'm not saying leave it, because at the moment, if I said leave it when he's digging into my hand, he could learn that leave it means dig into your hand. So until they do the behaviour, don't add the word in. So you'll see, wasn't even interested. So I'll try that again. So I'm not going to move on to the next stage because he's not consistent enough for me yet. And there is some frustration here, so you do have to be careful. If your dog gets really frustrated and redirects onto you, then you need to make sure that you're very cautious with this exercise. I'm going to try swapping hands as well. And then I need to remember to feed with my left hand. I want one more repetition of him doing that and I'll move on to step 2. So I'm not moving on to step 2 because he went back to trying to get the stuff out of the hand. I want 3 to 5 successful repetitions before I move on. And a successful repetition is, he might sniff the hand, but then he moves away from it pretty quickly. Good boy. So I'm going to move on to step 2, which is I open the hand, but I'm going to have to be ready really quickly to shut it. He moves away, I open it. I'm not entirely convinced he actually saw the fact I'd opened it there, so we'll give it another go. And again, I'm not adding the word in yet. Good boy, very good. So I'm going to give him 2 little treats for that because that was good. Just a clicker. So the clicker is just telling him what's the behaviour that I liked. Good boy. Oops, almost got a freebie. Not quite. Ready? One more. Because I dropped it. Ready? Loken. So I just went back to the step one of having the closed hand just to give him an easy win. I'll do one more easy win, reward, and that's 5 minutes. So we're halfway through step two. We're halfway through step two, but that's only 5 minutes, and that's his first time doing this exercise. So I'm quite happy. And also he is very food motivated, which is why I've started with low value treats in one hand, and then I'm rewarding him with cocktail sausage, which is high value. It's the end of the exercise. So what I do with the low value treats now is I go and put them away. He does not get the thing that you're getting him to back off from at the end of the exercise. It's really important that leave it eventually means you're never allowed that, rather than you can have it in a few minutes. Good boy. Hi, this is day 2 of our 5-minute training session. So I'm going to set a timer. I'm continuing to work on leave it, as in do not touch that with Loken. And I'm going to go back to step 1 and hopefully we'll do a couple of repetitions, be able to move on to step 2 quite quickly, and then step 3 is adding the word in. So I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes. So yeah, he's remembered that quite well. So I'll move on to step 2, which is when he moves off, I open the hand. If he goes for it, I shut it. And that's nice because he's not even trying to go and get it. Good boy. And I'm going to start to make sure that I only click now if I actually get eye contact. Good boy. So click or mark if you're using a verbal marker. At the moment they give you eye contact. Rubbish timing. He looked at retreat patch, not me. But I'll do it better next time. Good boy. So again, I'm going to try and swap hands so that he doesn't just learn to leave it if it's in one hand. So because I changed the criteria, because I changed it to right hand, I went back to marking him for just backing off from it, not giving me eye contact. Good boy. And then once he's successful at moving away from it, I then add the eye contact in. Good boy, very nice. So he's quite good at that. So I'm going to add the word in. So the word for me is leave it. As I said in the first video, if you already used leave it for let go of that, you can have that in a minute. Just pick a different word. Leave it for me means you are not allowed that at all. So I'm going to just go leave it. And what's really important is I say it in a nice positive tone of voice. I'm not scaring him into doing it. I'm cueing him. Leave it. Good boy. Leave it. Good boy. Leave it. Good boy. So I'm just going to keep repeating until I think he's actually got it. Leave it. Good, because that was nice. He went over, but as soon as I said it, he moved away. Leave it. Good boy, very nice. So next step is to start to put it on the floor. I'm gonna make sure that my hand is quite there ready to cover it up quickly. You can always do it stood up and just put it under your foot if needed. Loken, leave it. I'm just gonna cover it up. Cover it up. Good boy. Leave it. Good boy. Leave it. Good boy. And again, I know he didn't look at me there, but I'm just going to mark and reward because I've changed the criteria. Mark and reward him not going for it. Leave it. Good boy. And I'll add eye contact in once him not going for it is a bit stronger. Leave it. And I am placing it on the floor at the moment. I'm not dropping it. I'm not adding a lot of movement in. I'll add that in once I feel this is a little bit more reliable. Leave it. This is very good boy. Leave it. So I'm just going to pick that up and reset. Loken, I want him to be paying attention to what I'm doing. Leave it. I'll just cover it up. Good boy, very good. One more. Leave it. Good boy. Very clever. And then I'll end that there because actually I've got 8 seconds left of 5 minutes. That was very good, but I'm really happy with him. So we added the word in. We then started to move it on the floor. And then I'll keep going this week on adding more movement in. So dropping the tree, I'll try me standing up. I'll try it on lead if we get that far. So I'll add in I'll increase the criteria until, you know, he'll leave the item no matter what the item is, no matter what the situation. Okay, so I'm going to continue leave it with Loken. So we got to the stage where I was putting it on the floor. I'd added the word in. So what I'm going to do now is try standing up. So I apologise if my head is cut off on this. I'm going to go back to potentially putting it on the floor saying leave it, but really close to my foot because I'm changing what the picture looks like because I'm stood up. That means that he might not understand that it's the same exercise. So I'll go back and make it easier for him if I need to. Loken, get off the couch, come on. Okay, I'm going to set for 5 minutes. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Ah, rubbish from me, I know. So that was rubbish because it bounced away from me. I added in too much movement too quickly. So I'll try that again. So I'll go back to placing it on the floor. Leave it. Leave it. So I'll drop it from ankle height. Leave it. Good boy, well done. Leave it. Good boy, well done. Leave it. Well done, very clever. Leave it. Oh, good boy, that was fabulous. So I'm going to just keep adding movement in more and more and more until I can stand up straight and drop it. I'll try knee height. I just need to be careful it just doesn't bounce towards him because he's not at that stage yet. So he's come closer, so I'm actually going to Leave it. Good boy, that was lovely. Leave it. And then because he's quicker than me, I'll throw the treat away so I can get the biscuit so he can't get there before me. Leave it. Good boy. That's very nice. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to quickly go and grab something that he would want to steal. I'm going to try the same exercise but with something else that's not food related. Okay, so I've got a new item. I've got a pair of socks, which he loves, and this is what he's not going to be allowed. So I'm going to do very similar things. I'm going to start again from scratch and then build up to it. And hopefully each time you use a new item, you'll be able to build up a bit quicker. Look at Moses. Ready? Leave it. Good boy. That's very good. Oh, there it is. Leave it. Good boy. Now, normally, if I was to drop these, he'd be in there like a rocket and he'd really go for it and then I won't be able to get it off him. Leave it. Good boy. Well done. Leave it. Oh, and I was a bit slow with my cue and you still did it. Well done. Leave it. So you can see he really had to make that decision there. Leave it. Good boy, well done. If he did grab these and run off with them, I just would swap it for a treat or I'd run off and distract him away from it. I wouldn't take it off him just because of his resource guarding problems. Ready? Leave it. Good boy. Very nice. Now what if I even open them up slightly, because that's even more enticing, isn't it? So you can see he's much more interested. Leave it. So I'll get in there first if I can. Leave it. Good boy. And that's a really nice place to end because that was fabulous. Honestly, he loves socks. So for him to not touch these is amazing. You're such a good boy.